Let's talk to God. One more thing, like, subscribe, and share. Come on, let's talk to God. Woo!
Hey, good evening, everybody. It's Cutler here on the Let's Talk to Cutler broadcast. I hope you're having a fantastic day. I really, really do. I certainly am having a good day. I'm having a positive day. I'm having a winning day and a successful day. I'm always thankful for this time that we spend together. So I just want to tell people, if you're riding by for the very first time, do me a favor, hit your brakes, pull on into this chat room, into this channel, because this channel is all about inspiration. It's about motivation. It's about stopping, looking at the day, doing an inventory and seeing what can I take from today that takes me into tomorrow and helps me to show up as a better person. So we're going to talk about that. And I'm going to talk about some of my personal experiences today, y'all, because today was just one of those days when I had to be intentional about motivating myself. Have you ever had those days when you just didn't feel motivated and you didn't feel the day? I don't know if it was the weather. I don't know if it was people. I don't know if it was your task or things that you had to do today. But I tell you what, today was one of those days when I said, I have got to motivate myself. I'm so glad that you all can hear me. I know last week I had some challenges, and they were technical challenges and technical issues. But as soon as I stopped using sign language with you all, I looked into the issue and got it resolved. So I'm glad that you all can hear me. But today was just one of those days when I had to be very intentional about motivating myself. And have you all ever had any of those days? You wake up in the morning and it just feels like a blah day. You wake up in the morning and nobody has done anything to you. No one has just really said anything, but you just don't feel the energy that you need to feel like you're going to be successful that day. That's what I want to talk about today. So as you all are inviting people to come on and let's talk to Cutler, and you're doing a thumbs up on the conversation, know that's what we're going to talk about. But I really want to know if you could put in the chats, have you just ever had a day like that? It was just a blah day. Nobody said anything to you. Nobody did anything, but you just did not feel the energy of the morning. You just didn't feel the energy of the morning. So I want to talk about that. But before I do, you all know how I do. I have to just shout out the people who just jumped into the chat room first. I call them the LTTC VIPs of our particular chat. And they are, let's see who they are. Let's see what's going on. Linda Martin says, good evening, everyone. Got my seat and ready to ride. Linda, and what a ride we are in for tonight, because I really do hope that what we chit chat about tonight can really help us tomorrow and with the tomorrows to come. I know I'm going to, based on your input and your feedback on your chat comments, I'm going to take what you all say to me and really ingest and digest it, because I truly believe that what you all have to say to me this evening will really help me in terms of finding what happens when I have those days when I feel less motivated than I do every day. Because do you all know that? Let me just go and get the rest of these. Let me show these, and I'll get back to that. Jet says, good evening to everybody. It's always good to see you, my friend. Let's see. And then let's see, rounding up in third place, Annie Cutler says, let's ride. Yeah. And again, we're in for a ride. But I just want to say to you all, I don't wake up feeling motivated every single day. I just don't. I think if people say, oh yeah, I'm bouncing and behaving and sparkling and witty every day when I wake up. Now I wake up thankful. I would say that. I wake up thankful, but I don't wake up with the same degree of energy when I face every single day. That's just my experience. Maybe you all do. Maybe you all do. But I just have days like that. And so I wanted to share with you all. I want to talk about, how do you stay motivated during the day? How do we sometimes motivate ourselves? Because many times it is about encouraging yourself. It's about motivating yourself. It's about being a self-starter. So I really want to talk about that. And I guess one of the first things that I would say, remember, this is not, some of this is coming from literature that I've read, but some of this is also coming from just my experiences. And one of the things that I've discovered is that you have to start your day with the end in mind. Start your day with the end of the day in mind. What do I mean by that? I mean, fuel up just like you would a vehicle, like you would do a truck or car. You're going to need your energy. So get a good breakfast. And I know sometimes we're just rushing. We get up. I wrote one poem that says coming and going, rushing and slowing, trying to stay on your feet and all that kind of stuff. And I said, but that ain't living. You need your energy. You need a good breakfast every day. And I don't mean breakfast that's filled with a lot of sugar, because sugar is, you burn that off, but you need something healthy. You need something healthy, and you need to start your day with the end of the day in mind. What do I mean? When you get up, you say to yourself, you know what? By the time I go to bed tonight, I want to have made this day a success. I want to make sure that there are some victories that I recognize. I want to make sure that there are some successes that I had. I want to make sure that there are some things that I accomplished. So start your day with the end in mind. And that means you're fueled up. You'll eat your breakfast and you'll get ready for the day. And why would I say that? You all know much of what I say, it really is faith-based, right? Much of what I say is faith-based, because I want us not to take for granted the fact that we need energy, and we need to start the day with the end of the day in mind. I think about one of the scriptures that says, no one getting ready to build a house or set out on a journey, nobody does so without counting up the cost, which means that nobody does so without planning. Nobody does so without necessarily considering the resources or the thing that's going to happen. So at least start your day with the end in mind. Count up the cost. Think about what you want to see done. All right. And then let's see. Well, I just do things that I have to be done. Of course, if I don't, no one will know. And that's a good strategy. That is a good strategy. Do the things that you know that have to be done. And if you don't get them done, no one else will know. Thank you for that, Tracy. So I'm going to talk about it, and maybe I should just say one of the things that we should do during the day in terms of being motivated and motivate ourselves is to be kind to ourselves. Listen, what you have planned, no one will know unless you tell them. So do the things that have to be done, and if you don't, no one will know but you. And that sort of goes along with the next thing that I would offer us, you all, and that is learn how to record and reward your positive moments. Why do I say that? Because there are 24 hours in a day, and not every moment is a bad moment. Learn how to appreciate your successes. It doesn't matter whether you consider them great or small, but learn how to appreciate them. And one of the things that I believe is that if you don't learn how to appreciate your small successes, you'll never really truly appreciate the big successes. And sometimes what's small to you is big in the eyes of others. Why would I say that? Because it may just be an email that you had trouble crafting and you finally got that done. That may seem small to you, but that's big to somebody. A phone call that maybe you had been intending to make maybe 2 or 3 days ago, and you finally got around to making it, or a chore or a task that you had put off. Learn how to record and reward your positive moments. What am I saying? Learn how to celebrate. Write down your positive experiences. Not every moment of the day is going to be bad. Write down your positive experiences, be they an unexpected text, an unexpected email, an unexpected phone call. Learn how to do that. All right? And then what else would I suggest? I think over the course of the pandemic, I've thought about this one. It's so I chuckle when I think of the various degrees of how people showed up during the pandemic, especially in these virtual settings. And so I would say dress for success. And by that, I don't mean put on a suit and tie, a blouse, skirt, dress, or all of that. I'm not saying that. But I think about during this pandemic how people got a little relaxed with their daily routines. Some people didn't get dressed. Some people stayed in pajamas all day. Some people changed their bathing habits. And what I'm suggesting is just that dressing for success during the day as a form of motivation. This is about learning how to show up for yourself. For me, every time I had a meeting, I was front and center on the camera. I'd buy the ring lights, all other kind of lights to make sure that I was there. I make sure that the angle was right and all and all that kind of stuff. Why, Cutler? Because I was determined to show up. And I was determined to show up in each moment. Even if I didn't show up for a person, I was determined to show up for myself. I was determined to show up for what the moment called, just as if each moment was designed for me. And why did I do that? What helped me to do that? Because what I understand and the rules of the game that I play by is that my footsteps are ordered. I play by the rules of the game that say my footsteps are ordered and that I still have purpose. And purpose was not all about where I was. Of course, in the pandemic, I wasn't necessarily going into my office, but purpose was not about where I was, but purpose was about how I showed up. Purpose was about what I did with the time that I was given. That's what it meant for me. That's what it meant for me. So even people, and I get it. There were people who just, they stayed in their PJs and they did what they have to do. But I was called to show up on camera so much. So for me, I wasn't able to relax and recline in PJs. But for me, it was not necessarily about the dress itself, but it was about how I prepared myself, how I decided to show up in the moment. And that's what I did. That's exactly what I did. I made sure that I walked in every moment like God prepared that moment for me to walk into. So when I talk about dress for success, that's really what I mean. Own the moment and walk into the moment like God has really ordered your steps. And then here's something else that I really had to learn how to do, you all. I had to learn how to get up and move around. Talk about being motivated during the day. Get up and move around, because there's so much that we do naturally that affects our psyche. It affects our mental outlook on things, our spiritual outlook on things. For me, getting up and did I say for me? For me, getting up and moving around reminded me that I was not intended to stay stuck. It reminded me that I was not intended to stay in one position. So I had to do something that intentionally reminded me that I wasn't stuck, that I wasn't in one position. Reminded me that I had the capacity to change my position. Reminded me that I had the capacity to change my condition. Reminded me that things are not always going to be the same. It reminds me of the dynamics of life. So for me, a part of my motivation is really getting up and moving around. McDonough, I see that you that earlier you mentioned exercise. Of course, I see you disagree with me on breakfast, but whatever it takes to energize yourself at the beginning of the day, for you, maybe it is exercise in a fasted state. For others, breakfast is needed. All right. So then, whatever it takes to fuel yourself, then definitely do that. But get up and move around. Don't stay in the same place. Remind yourself of the dynamics of life. I got to get up. I've got to move around. I've got to exercise. I've got to do something. I have to remind myself that I'm not staying in one position. I'm not staying in one position physically. I'm not staying in one position mentally. I'm not staying in one position emotionally. And I'm not staying in one position in any form of my life. Get up and move around. It'll help. And then be aware of your connection to humanity. One of the things that I had to tell myself was that don't sit in your house without reaching out to other people. Make sure, and this is why I appreciate so much about you all. I appreciate this about you all because it gives us an opportunity to remember that we are connected. And so I talk from the perspective so many times that said, let's maintain connectivity. I say that because I find that we have to be aware of our connection to humanity, because I do believe, as the writer said, no man or woman is an island unto himself. So I make sure that I don't go 24 hours without talking to or communicating with somebody outside of my geographic space. And by my geographic space, I mean, in my house. I make sure that I reach out to somebody, whether it's a friend, a loved one, a family member. I make sure that I reach out to somebody. I don't go 24 hours without talking to or communicating with somebody outside of my enclosed geographic space. because that reminds me that we are each other's keeper. It reminds me that we are each other's accountability partner. It reminds me that we're each other's connection to the greater humanity. So I make sure that I try to connect with somebody else, because quite often I realize that if I wake up and my energy level is here, I might connect with somebody whose energy level is here. And guess what, you all? If I connect with somebody whose energy level is here, at least I've done humanity a favor, because I've allowed this person to elevate his or her energy level. This person then allows me to elevate my energy level. So be aware of your connection to humanity. Make sure that you are. Something else I suggest. Again, just from part of my experience, set goals, set milestones, set goals, set milestones. And I'm looking at what you all are putting in the chat. You're absolutely right. Many people lost connectivity because of COVID, especially with fellowship. And Linda, you're absolutely right. A lot of us lost connectivity because of the health crisis and the health situation that we were in, and to some degree that we are still dealing with. So we have to be, and I'm glad you raised that point, Linda. So we have to be intentional about making sure that we are aware of our connectivity to humanity, because it is so easy. It is so easy to fall into the restrictions of the pandemic, to fall into the inability to see people, to touch people, to hug people. It's over 2 years we've now been in this space and this place. And so it's easy for us to do that. So make sure that we are intentional about reaching outside of our geographic space and communicating with people, with other people. You're right, Tracy, that is important, especially for those who work from home. For those who work from home and those who may work from home and you're in your home alone, this is important. I find this to be helpful. But the other thing I was saying was make sure that you set goals and set milestones. That helps me so much because it helps me to define my why. A lot of times we talk about one of the buzzwords these days. The buzzwords are, well, what is your why? What is your, as the French would say, what is your raison d'etre, your reason for being? Why do you do what you do? So set milestones, set goals. It helps you to define why you do what you do. It helps you not to just walk around and move aimlessly, but you will be intentional. And not only will you be intentional, but you will give yourself something to celebrate. Set those goals, set those milestones. And when you accomplish them, you've given yourself something to celebrate. You may set a goal or a milestone that goes something like this, because a lot of times we underestimate the things that we have to celebrate. But when I think about a daily goal, sometimes you may say something like, I need to get this done by 10 a.m. That's a goal. That's a milestone. I want to have this done by 12 noon. That's a milestone. Or by 3:30 or by 3 p.m., I need to blank. So you're setting goals and you're setting milestones. You're giving yourself something to celebrate. And when you give yourself something to celebrate, it helps you to be aware of the distractions from others and even from yourself. Get up during the day, and even if you don't write it down, I encourage you to if you can, but if not, just make a mental note. Here are some of the things that I want to accomplish. Here's some of the things that I want to do. And this is the time by which I want to get this done. Some of us are on routine. Some of us are in patterns. So you have that routine, you have that pattern. You say by such and such time, I need to get this done. And guess what, you all, when you get it done, celebrate the moment. Because as we are setting those goals and milestones, it helps us to avoid distractions from others and ourselves. You will be less inclined to let people waste your time when you start setting milestones. I know I am. If there's something that I've got to get done by 10 a.m., by 10 a.m., I see that I set a goal of 10,000 steps by 10 a.m. And when you set those goals, you're less inclined to let people waste your time. And you're more mindful of the time that you have. and you will work to avoid distractions. I have one staff member, and I love something that she shared with me. She said one of the things that she does during the day is to put her cell phone in a different room. She said, because the people who need to reach me know how to reach me. They know how to send a notification, she said, to her email, and it will pop up in the middle of the day. She said, they know how to reach me. And they know how to reach me other than my cell phone. And so that's what works for her. It may not work for some of us, but it worked for her. She said, I know how not to become distracted. And many times we are the same way. We know what a distraction is. We know what a distraction looks like. So we have to be intentional about not becoming distracted. Set the goal, set the milestones, and say, I'm defining my own why. And may I tell you something else, you all? Understand that multitasking does not work for everybody. It just doesn't. Multitasking, I got to say that again. Multitasking does not work for everybody. Are you all good at multitasking? Let me know that. Let me know if you all are good at multitasking. I'm with you, McDonald. Sometimes, right, when people want to waste your time, you have to. I think it was Congressman Maxine Walters who said, "Listen, I'm reclaiming my time. I'm not going to allow you to waste my time. I was giving it to you, allowing you to borrow it because I thought you were going to be useful and meaningful and helping me to get to where I'm going during the day. But I'm not going to allow you to waste my time. So before I allow you to waste it, I will reclaim my time." All right. But talk to me. Are you all good at multitasking? Everybody's not good at multitasking. It does not work for everybody. So as we are setting goals and milestones, understand everyone is not good at trying to divide their attention among multiple things. Some people can do it. Some people are exceptional at it. But everyone is not good at multitasking because if that's you, if you know that you're not good at multitasking, trying to really divide your time, if you're not good at it, then give your full and undivided attention to the task at hand. Because when you do, your chances for success go way up. Now, what some of us may do, we work in blocks of time. And if there's certain things that I want to get done in this hour, it's quite possible for me to accomplish one of the things that I want to get done within the first 15 minutes. I have another 45 minutes to do other things. I may have another 45 minutes. So I may get it done within that first 15-minute block of the hour. Then I have 45 minutes. But if it just so happens that it takes me the whole hour to focus on that one thing, then guess what? I'm going to take the whole hour to focus on that one thing. So understand whether or not you are good individually, and that's your call. Make sure you understand whether or not you are good at multitasking. And if you're not, don't beat yourself up. Just focus on the one thing that you can do, on the one task at hand. If you can split your time up and you can accomplish more than one thing in that space of time, then fine, do it. But it doesn't always work for everybody. Linda said it didn't work for her. You learn how. Oh, you learn how to multitask through caregiving. Right. I understand exactly what you're saying. Yeah, you wear out your timer doing this, but understand whether or not it works for you. And by all means, you all, by all means, make sure that you have fun. Make sure that you have fun. And I'm telling you all this because there was something that I had to do today. I was not as energetic. I was not as focused, to be honest, as I typically am. And I was not having the best day or the most motivated day. And you all know what I did? At some point, I just stopped everything, went into my family room, and I just started dancing. I just told the device that, when you call her name that starts with Alexa, I just said, play one of my favorite songs, and I just stopped and started dancing. Have fun, because fun is not the enemy of success. Fun is not the enemy of success. Learn how to enjoy the things that you do. And if you don't know how to enjoy the things that you do, if you find out that those things aren't necessarily enjoyable, find a moment to enjoy. Like I did, stop and dance, go outside and breathe, but find fun, find some fun in the day. It'll motivate you. Learn how to carve out some time where you can have fun. I see I'm not the only one who likes to dance. And what does it say? Dance like nobody's looking. That's me. That's me. It doesn't matter how silly I may look, because nobody else is seeing me but me. I do it. I got up and I said, you know what? And I've shared this with you all. No one can ruin my day except for the one who runs my day. No one can ruin my day except for the one who runs my day. And the one who runs my day, learn how to have fun, learn how to dance. I am so glad to see that I am not the only one who likes to dance. Tracy, I love doing that. I just listen to music and dance. Paula D, I also play music while I'm multitasking. It passes time and makes my task enjoyable. Yeah, Jet, I dance when I'm cleaning up. Learn how to have fun, you all. Learn how to have fun. And then just a couple more things that I want to share with us. I was chit-chatting with someone, or chatting with one of my cousins just before the broadcast started this evening. Today's her birthday, and I called her to wish her happy birthday. And we were talking about some things, and she said, "You know what, cousin? Based on what you just said, I'm learning how to manifest my success. I'm learning how to manifest my victory. I'm learning how to manifest the things that I want." And I thought, how interesting. Then that confirmed that I was on target with one of the things that I wanted to say, and that is learn how to visualize and manifest your success. See yourself at the end of the day standing in the winner's circle. See yourself giving yourself a pat on the back. See yourself smiling at all that you've accomplished. Visualize it and manifest your success. And a part of your success might be contributing to the success of someone else's day. Linda, I see that you and Annie often mention in terms of caregiving. When you visualize and manifest your success, a part of your success just might be contributing to the success of somebody else's day. I think of teachers who spend time with children. I think of healthcare workers who spend time with patients. I think of caregivers who spend time attending to loved ones. And sometimes we may be inclined to say, I was so busy helping them until I didn't get a chance to help me. But let me encourage you all. Of course, I often say, make sure you find some me time. But I want you to know this. I want you to know that helping others is one of the most understated forms of success that there is. It is one of the most understated forms of success that there is. So then, you've got to learn, you all. You've got to learn. You have to make sure that you visualize and you manifest your success. See yourself in the winner's circle, even if you win because you help make somebody else's day better. Find the me time if you can, but don't beat yourself up if you can't. Helping other people, serving others, providing and doing that stuff, it is the most understated form of success. Because I'll close with this. I'm reminded of a passage in the scripture. Master, when did we see you naked and didn't clothe you? When did we see you hungry and didn't feed you? When did we see you thirsty and didn't give you water? The answer, what you've done unto the least of mine, you've also done it unto me. And I guess that is my shout out to those of you who are serving in the caregiver capacity. What you've done to the least of mine, you've done unto me. So remember that as you visualize and manifest your success, it is okay if a part of your success is making sure that somebody else's day was successful. That's why I appreciate the comments and the feedback that you all give. Because a part of what you all do, a part of what you all give, you all help me to become better. And so applaud yourself for that. I want to say thank you. And I hope that you've gotten some nugget. I hope you've gotten some nugget that helps you to stay motivated during the day. If they all don't work for you, that's okay. If any of them work for you, take the ones that work and just use them. And say, I'm going to be intentional about motivating myself. I'm going to be intentional. I'm so glad that some of you found that helpful and from the caregiving point of view. Be intentional about motivating yourself. Be glad about being able to show up. Be glad about being able to help somebody else. Be glad about being purposeful in life. Be glad about it. You all take care. Let's keep building community. Let's keep maintaining connectivity. Stay safe, stay sane. Keep your heads up. Keep your hopes up. And I will see you all in a couple of days, Thursday, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern time for 1800 seconds. Until then, you all do me a favor. Tell somebody else. Come on, let's talk to Cutler. Know this from my heart to yours. There is and always will be so much love. Good night, everybody.